The Instagram going also because you have to press an additional button on Instagram if you didn't know. Go live. The Instagram going. Okay, I don't like that. Also because you have to press an additional button. I don't like that I have feedback on that, but hopefully that'll be okay. You guys can hear me good?
Perfect, yeah.
All right, cool. Let's check the stream. Yo, 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 can you guys hear me on Instagram? No more nose beers. I don't know what that means. Let me know if you can hear me. Throw it in the chat if you can hear me because I'm playing around with a couple different things.
You don't know what you don't know what a nose beer is?
No, what's a nose beer? Somebody educate me.
Really?
Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Okay.
is this the icebreaker? The icebreaker is we're going to talk about nose beers.
I think that's a much more apropos.
All right.
Nose beers is snow, doing snow.
Oh, okay. I've never even had the opportunity to do that. So yeah, I would not know what that was. There was something else just recently that I had no idea what it was. Oh, must have been the wind. Must have been the wind.
That's like a fart, right?
That's not what I thought. I thought it was just like you showed your ass.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I thought, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe cutting wind. I'm thinking cutting wind.
cutting wind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. Point number one, people. If you want to be successful in 2026 as a business owner, be up to date on all the fucking trends. Be up to date on all of the things that the celebrities are saying and doing. Like it's not going to hurt you. Literally, having that information, even if you do nothing with it, it won't hurt you. If anything, it'll just make you. It'll make you have like conversations a lot easier. Like you'll just have these like random facts. You can just tell people like, "Hey, did you know all the kids these days are using the word tough? Like when something's cool, they'll be like, that's tough." Right? If something's like, they come up to you and be like, "Oh, dude, that chain is tough." That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So if you, business owner, Ryan, you have a prospective client who's maybe a wealthier Gen Zer, and you drop a tough on him, he may not be like, "Oh, what's up, doc? Yeah, I'll write that check." You know what I'm saying? All right,
It's all
let's
about relating to the person.
let's get started here. I know we got 6 people in. Jake, Sergio, Hunter, welcome. All right, so this is like open forum, but Ryan and I are going to lead. But essentially, we've never done this before, but essentially, you guys are all business owners if you're in this meeting. Let me hit record before I fucking forget that. Record to this computer. Bam. All right, so we're all business owners here. And there are things that we're all good at, and then there's things that we are all really fucking bad at. And where the value of this call and this group comes in is that they're just by a slim chance here, there could be a person who's really good at something and another person who's really bad at that exact same thing, and they can go, "Yo, dog, I got you." And when you get those "yo, dog, I got you" moments, when you make those relationships, those are the best ones ever. Because the people that are trying to hook you up are also trying to get hooked up. And if we can all hook each other up here, we're going to be in good. We're going to be in good shape. So, Ryan, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about your background?
Wow, cool, great. My name is Dr. Ryan Bland, originally from New York City. I grew up really into extreme sports, and that was a big part of my life. So that kind of brought me into more of a wellness field, and I decided that I wanted to be a chiropractor. At a really young age, around 8 years old, I had two goals, and that was to be a good doctor, and I also wanted to play electric guitar live at Madison Square Garden. So those were the two things that I've achieved. One of them, and the other one I'm still a musician, but I've never been to the played in the at the Garden. Um,
You're also
and my
the son of a doctor, right?
Yeah, I'm a second generation applied kinesiologist, and applied kinesiology is a really interesting niche inside of the chiropractic and holistic community, where we are looking at the mental, chemical, and physical stressors of a patient. And it's basically like a holistic doctor minus any drugs and surgery. So I see patients. Who have come from all kinds of chronic conditions that other doctors haven't been able to successfully treat. My most, the craziest patient I've seen has seen 28 doctors before they came to my doorstep and were able to resolve their case to a certain level. So in college, I studied microbiology and jazz guitar. I always have yin and yang. My whole thing is yin and yang. And right now I've been in private practice for about 15 years, a little less. And I've been in a lot of different situations in terms of business. Partially working for people and myself throughout this period of time and learning the ups and downs of business. And, at this point, I have a 11-year-old son and I'm a father, and I'm running my practice in Tacoma, Washington, and I have a very successful practice that I'm running in terms of, the money coming in, importantly, but most importantly, the amount of people that we're able to help on a daily basis is absolutely amazing to see that. Yeah, but that's a little bit about myself. I won't get too long-winded.
What's something that your business does exceptionally well?
So my business excels as a concierge level point of access health facility. So a lot of people are worried when they're sick, like I need a referral, I need to do this. We take care of everything. You call in, I'm a primary care physician. You could call in from anywhere in the world and we'll still be able to work with people. We do telehealth from people all over the world. So we really excel in giving that one-on-one personalized feel. And we like to build each experience and what I like to call raving fan service, where like you are leaving the experience with the patient where they're like excited to share what they learned about and excited to give their family and friends this kind of new version of themselves. Because my main job and what I really excel at, bottom line, is I give people a second opinion about their health and wellness. So we take out all of the guessing work and we start from a blank sheet, and we really start figuring things out from the start.
What makes you the most money?
What makes me the most money? Honestly, it's probably a couple of things. I really believe in owning a business that has low overhead. So in order to have a sustainable business, you must have an overhead that, not a low overhead, but an overhead that you can afford and pay off quite easily. So one thing that makes me a lot of money, and my little secret is understanding that low overhead is really important, because there's so many people in what I do in other professions that are getting the maxed out $50,000, computer setup, or they're hiring just too many people. There's been so many businesses that I've been asked to buy, and I'm like, I was once asked to buy this business, and it was a great business, very famous doctor, great amount of patients, but they had 16 bathrooms in the building that I was going to buy. So you're like, how do you clean 16 bathrooms? How much does that cost? So that low overhead is super important. And then I guess the next layer is education. I think educating people on what the hell they're buying and what they're buying and what it does is something that will consistently pay you back over and over and over.
When you mean education, What are you, is that the so like in my like coaching space, we would call that the dream. Are you selling them the dream?
Piece of it, but yeah, but also like the scientific education, because in Latin, doctor means to teach. So if I put you on an herb called andrographis, not many people know what andrographis is or what it does. Did I put it on you because of the antibacterial effects? Did I put you on for the hormone balancing effects, or is it the antiviral component of it? So like educating the person, like, hey, we're giving you this supplement because of this infection or because of this hormone imbalance, and teaching them what that specific supplement does in terms of a pathway. Because if you just give somebody something, they're not going to see the value of it. If you buy, let's just say, you buy, a Ninja blender, it makes smoothies, but if you open up the booklet, like, it'll teach you how to make hummus, it'll teach you maybe how to make like ice cream. So the more I feel like people know in my line of work and other lines of work why they're doing what they're doing and why they're buying what they're buying, you have the ability to possibly upsell the person. And in my work, I'm not upselling, I'm just getting the person to buy into themselves and believe into themselves. Because the best thing that you can do when you're working with somebody is engage in what I like to call discovery. I'm giving a second opinion about their health, engaging in this discovery and creating an educational rapport helps also ask questions. So if the patient or the person who's coming, who's buying from you, you're educating them, that opens up the door for more low pressure questions to see if they're really interested. Because, in my line of work, I don't need quick pump and dump. I want people who are going to last, who appreciate what I'm doing, and who are going to continue to come back. So if I educate you on your laboratory analysis that your testosterone is low, and we want to use this supplement called andrographis and sheep's testicle to boost it, you now know what those two things do, how they're going to boost it, and you're then going to buy that product over and over again once you see the results.
So you're not like a traditional rack and crack fee for service, 10 sessions, get them in, get them out type of chiropractor. What's your pay structure? Like, how do people pay you monthly? Do they pay you by session?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely, totally not an average chiropractor. I'm not running an average office, although other chiropractors can run their office like I'm running. The way it's run is very simple. Like I said, low overhead. It's like there's cheeseburger and then there's burger.
In and out.
In and out in terms of like what you have to offer is the terms of time. But people are coming in. An intake is like 350. The follow-ups are 150 to 300 depending on time. So that structures it very, very simple. And every case is different. I'm not treating, if somebody comes in with a herniated disc or if somebody comes with candida, those treatments are different based on the person's biochemistry. So I think something so huge in 2026 is custom. Everybody comes in and leaves at the same visit and gets a custom protocol, custom plan, custom functional lab analysis. So people are really getting this value of what is custom, and the value in that is it's saving people from going to waiting 3 to 6 months to get to your general practitioner, and then another couple of months to go to this guy, and next thing you know, a year passed and you've done nothing. When people come into my door, they're coming in and we're getting it done within a month. What could take a year.
Let's do some quick business retard math. How much per month do you make off of one customer on average?
It's probably a good question. It's an average. So most people are following up every 3 to 4 weeks. I would assume most people are doing products and the visit, so probably people are kind of somewhere between $250 and $500.
I was about to say $500. That was gonna be my guess. And how many patients per month are you seeing on average?
Um,
You could just do typical day times 30.
I'm just thinking week because I go by week.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 120 to 160.
Okay. So 100, on the low end, 100 clients per month, $500 a piece. That's 5 grand.
Yeah, I'm doing about 40 grand a month with supplements and
Okay.
patients.
And
Yeah,
that's
about 40
additional.
grand.
Okay. Cool. All right. I have another question. What's the dumbest thing you've done in your practice in the last 15 years?
Um, that's a really interesting question. There's a couple of dumb things that I've done. There's a couple
All
of
right.
stupid things. There's a couple of stupid things I've bought. Um,
Yep. This is what the people really want to hear.
yeah, no, I'm
Where
trying
did
to
you
really
fuck
think.
it up?
Where did I fuck it up?
Um,
Some of my biggest fuck ups were thinking that I couldn't do it by myself. I kind of want to make this point for people because
yeah.
there was a lot of times where I doubted myself and I worked for other people, just maybe for the paycheck, the easy use, or whatever, the growth or whatever. But I
Experience.
see, yeah, whatever, fuck it, right? But I see so many people who are practice members of mine and friends and whatever, and they'll have like a skill set like being a plumber, like something like I'm like, yo, dude, like you could make more than me. You know what I mean? Like I've literally told people like I'll buy you the truck, like I'll front you the truck. So for a lot of people out there, the main thing I'll talk about all my fuck ups, but the main thing is you shouldn't be so afraid to fuck up, and it doesn't really take that much to run and own a successful business. Like you just need a certain number of people, and you can kind of start that while you're working your other world. But the main fuck ups is. I was during the pandemic. I got really into deadlifting, and I blew my own back out.
Oh.
And that was a business mistake because like who needs to deadlift 500 and up? Just like it's a dumb risk to take. And then I bought a decompression table just to rehab myself because the way the time works, sometimes it's just better to go in to buy it yourself. So that was something that I bought myself and really didn't do anything with, and it's like a giant paperweight right now. Um, I did a couple of other like testing that I just didn't think was that successful, like the blood panel food test, like an MRT test. Making like mistakes like that.
Well, that
I
goes
made
that goes away from hamburger or cheeseburger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I made a mistake. I worked with this Instagram guy once named Tony Pett, the godfather of Instagram. And, he was saying, like, I'm the best. I do this. I don't, and, like, he kind of just put me into, like, this hip hop, like, giveaway thing. And I had, like, a bunch of 13-year-olds and Russian bots following me. So that was, uh, that was a huge mistake because that almost like destroyed my entire social media account. Other things, sometimes being emotional. Sometimes it's really hard to put on that customer. I'm like from New York City, so like there's like a level to me. Yes, you know what I mean, where the hands come out, and sometimes there's like you want to tell somebody like you need to shut the fuck up right now. You're like you're crazy. This is we're in public right now. Um,
We're living in
uh,
a society.
yeah, this is like we need to be nice to each other. So sometimes um, letting the people get to you because you have to remind yourself that it's like the Facebook Marketplace phenomenon. Everyone's fucking mad that they're getting like a bad deal. Like, oh, like everyone feels lowballed. But the thing is, any offer is better than the offer you had 30 seconds ago, and you have to be humble with every situation. So my probably biggest mistake is in practice and in life is like losing that humbleness sometimes and thinking I'm like something because we're all the same thing. Yeah, that's a huge mistake to make.
All right. Uh, one last question from me,
Okay.
and then I'll open it up to other people. What's the one part of your business that in the back of your mind you know you need to address, but you just can't do it?
Oh man, this has been something that I've been dealing with. It's funny that you brought it up. I need to redecorate like the vibe is so important of a business,
Huge.
and I need to redecorate. I have these like fluorescent lights over my table that like I've heard so many times that like you have to like, hey, like this is not chill. So that happens to be like the one thing that I like. I've been stuck on it, but I found somebody to paint, and I'm gonna work on some lighting, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, especially for a brick and mortar business, like that vibe is got to be dead on. Not for your clients, dude, for you. You
Oh,
know?
one thing, one big mistake. This is very important to share with everybody. I'm so sorry. I have ADHD like everyone else. You're not special. The one of the biggest, I guess, mistakes in business is that I've had is the Google review thing. I'm like the I'm the worst. I am the worst at it. And also, the next most important part is I'm an artist over an administrator. So, which means I have this big office. There is a second room in my office that could be rented out. But right now, the decompression machine, my guitar is there. I have a guitar there. I probably have like 40 Jordan 1s in there and like a 20 cubic foot meat locker. So it's just like that is I did the math recently and it's probably 80 to $90,000 that I've been paying over the past 7 or 8 years just to have the room. But it's like fuck it, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just like part of the game. But that is that is what I think people want to hear is me like bleeding an insane amount of money and it's still existing and being successful.
The I think, dude, you just figured out what your vibe is for the office, man. The J's, the guitar, like that is you, dude. You could have an office that is no unlike any other office where it's just fucking sick ass Jordans, cool sports pictures, rock and roll memorabilia, like
Yeah.
again, not even for your clients or your customers, for you, dude. Like this room right here, like I fucking love this room, man.
It's your shit, yeah.
This like when I come in here, I even have a sign right here on the door. Like it's time to work when I come in here. I got my fucking awards on the wall. I got proof that I can do hard shit, and I'm ready to fucking go to war. Now that's
Yeah, that's making the space your own is cool. When I moved into this office, this was a doctor who I took it over for, who it's a family who I really look up to, and the nostalgia of it, I wanted to keep it the same. And it's like I've been there long enough where it's like my stink is on it.
well,
So I want to make it my own. How you made it your own. That's really special.
and I also think too, Ryan, what I have learned in the last maybe month and a half too is how important having a uniform is. Like this is my uniform, dude. And I was in the military for a long time, and I had a uniform. And every time you put the uniform on to go to work. You put the uniform on, people recognize when you're at work. And so one thing I would challenge you to do if you don't have one already. I mean, I know you wear the chain, I know you wear Jordans, but like I don't know, something maybe like a fucking Metallica T-shirt or like whatever like your favorite brand. Like maybe maybe it's like something like you got the J's, right? Maybe you wear some scrub bottoms because that gives the doctor feel, and then and then something music, so that every
Yeah,
day.
I wear this. I've been wearing the same thing for the past 5 years. That's funny that you said that. I do black t-shirt, black cargo pants, Jordans, and the watch. The watch and the Jordans, that's what changes.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, if
fun.
you can somehow work in something musical
That'd be cool, yeah.
into that uniform, I don't know, like maybe dude, maybe spend some fucking money and get some badass fucking old school rock shirts or whatever music, whatever your idols were, like rep that shit, dude. And then when you're doing these calls and you have a drummer on your shirt and it goes viral on YouTube and that guy's like, "Hey, that's my shit.
That, that guy, yeah.
That's the Iron Maiden chiropractor." Or what, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking you're like a metal, like you're into like old metal. What kind of music what's like your inspiration for music?
You know, this is embarrassing to share.
Britney Spears?
But no, no.
Justin
But
Bieber?
the reason why I got into playing music at 8 years old, I saw Forrest Gump, and Elvis is in Forrest Gump. And I just thought that, like, I didn't necessarily like his music. I just thought that guitar was cool. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like, you're supposed to do this.
The girls
And
are going crazy.
yeah, and yeah, that was my first influence. But then I started getting classically trained at a young age. So I have weird influences in terms of music.
Good. The more weird
Yeah,
the more weird things you can put together that aren't supposed to go together, the more viral, dude.
yeah, exactly.
Literally talked about it in my post today. Take two things that have nothing to do with each other, put them together. That's how you do it. Okay.
I saw the post. Yeah.
Uh, all right, my turn. Unless anyone has any questions for Ryan. Anyone in the audience? Got some silent people here. Oh, it's just Hunter. Right?
Silent folks, your turn.
Oh, let me check out.
Okay.
Let me check out Instagram. What do we got? What do we got? I love your content. Thanks. Make it simple, easy. Do you coach online? I don't. Louisiana check. Oh boy, Cajuns. That is a real group of people. All right, I'm up. All right, what do you guys want?
You,
You guys want to know what I do well or what I do bad, or do you want to know where I'm losing the most money, or what do you want to know?
yeah, that's
Open
what people
book.
want to know. People want to know what is the most amount of money you are losing.
Not proud about it, man enough to admit it. What is it?
All right, okay. I mean, I've made a bunch of stupid money mistakes, and just recently, I think probably in the last 2 months, I've actually emotionally detached myself from money, and I was very humbled just recently because I looked at our company bank account, which is the fucking bank account I live off of, and it was lower than it had ever been, ever. And I was waiting for my stomach to drop. I was waiting for my throat to tighten up. And I remember I was sitting on the toilet. I was sitting and I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to panic. This is where my palms are supposed to get sweaty. This is where I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because I know the first of the month is coming, and I'm going to have a big fucking invoice from Nick that I'm going to have to figure out how to cover. I don't know. But, dude, like, it just didn't come. It literally just didn't come. And so that's been a huge, like, step forward for me because I have been very anxious about money in the past. And now it's almost I'm so relaxed about it. It's almost a bit alarming. I even told my mom about it, and she was just like, "You need to be more financially responsible." And I was just like, "I don't fucking care." So that has helped a lot. But what I have dumped the most amount of money into that I didn't get any return on, in fact, lost almost all the money and time, is my posing mats. The textbook posing mat, which everyone told me was the greatest invention of all time, and I fucking believed them. And it is a good product. I just don't know how to sell physical products. I've never made money selling a physical item. I've only ever made money telling people what I know. Literally. That's the only way I've ever made money, minus being in the army. So what I did with these posing mats is I created this mat. I sent it off to China. I got it all created. Got a Shopify store. Had a couple thousand of them sent to the United States. And 2 years ago, there was like some weird China embargo, and they got fucking hammered at the port. And so I had to pay a massive fucking Chinese tariff. I also had to pay it again every time I sent something to Canada. But anyhow, I took this loan and I sunk $50K into this posing mat idea, and it was just nothing but trouble the entire time. And so you know what I did? I doubled down. I should have just fucking said. I should have just, as soon as it happened at the port, I should have just been like, I'm out. But no, I'm fucking hard-headed. I'm going to swim upstream, motherfucker. So I doubled down and I hire this, I join a mentorship on e-commerce. And these guys are working with like top celebrities, and I see all the glitz and glamour, and they're doing these retreats. Now at the same time, I'm running a business. So another business, right? My posing coaching business. So I get the bright idea of I'm going to pay into this mentorship and I'm going to hire somebody to go through the mentorship for me. Huge mistake. Okay. So now we're in like 75 grand. Plus I'm paying this guy to go through the mentorship. He goes through the mentorship. He doesn't do a good job. He doesn't do half the things he's supposed to do. I'm halfway involved. The owners of the mentorship are like, I don't know, this probably isn't a good idea. But I'm like, no, we can do it. I continue to bang my head against the fucking wall. And when my head starts to bleed, I put on a helmet and I keep banging my head against the same fucking wall. And now we're here 2 years later, literally had the conversation with Nick today. And I literally told him, hire somebody in South Carolina to break into the storage unit and fucking take them all and dump them in a landfill, and that's the fucking end of it. Literally. I tell them, go in there and cut the fucking lock and make those things dis-fucking-peer because they're keeping me up at night. So yeah, I think I have lost probably $70,000 on that I'll never be able to get back. But it was a really good lesson, and the lesson that I learned was, number one, the same thing that I do with content. Before I do anything new, I go and find somebody who's already doing it at a high level, and I copy exactly what they are doing. I did not do that. I did not do that at all. I started from scratch, and then I hired somebody halfway in, and I never had a model. I never had a beacon. I never had someone that I was like, that guy is doing that. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to copy every step of the way there. I didn't do that. So that was a huge mistake. There was another point that I was going to make there. Well, I can't recall. Maybe it'll come to me. But yeah, that's probably the dumbest thing that I've done with money that I still am dealing with, unfortunately. I remember now. So I learned a $70,000 lesson. That was it. I learned a $70,000 lesson, and that's okay. You know why? Because I don't fucking report to anybody. I'm the fucking business owner. I'm allowed to make mistakes. That's what Tony Robbins says. He says you're allowed to make mistakes. You're just not allowed to do nothing.
Oh, I like that.
You're allowed to make mistakes. You're just allowed to not do nothing. And so that's what I did. I made a mistake, and now I have to recover from it. And I've done that multiple times. I did it again a couple months ago. Same thing. I made a mistake. I made our business go backwards, and now I got to work even fucking harder to make it go forwards. But I learned. So yeah, I think that is a thing that I'm good at too with business, is that my resiliency muscle is fucking strong. It is fucking strong. If I get hit with a lawsuit tomorrow, please God, do not get me hit with a lawsuit tomorrow. I'll be like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Lace up. What's next, right? I still got to train today. I still got to eat fucking 5 meals. I still got to sleep 8 hours. Like, bring it the fuck on.
Oh, 5 meals a day is a chore, dude.
Yeah, dog.
Ooh. So what would you say is the smartest thing you've done with like a sum of money?
The smartest thing I ever did with money was buy a Bitcoin at $14,000 and then spend it all on. Nah, I'm kidding. But honestly, the amount of money that I have invested in myself, like having an assistant, because like you said, eating 5 meals a day is tough. It's not that tough when it's made for me and it gets brought to me. It's really easy to do it that way. And so I've built my life like that because I know that I perform the best and my company makes the most money when I have a ton of space in my mind to think and action and be creative. And if I'm spending mental energy thinking about what I'm going to eat, or if I have to go to the grocery store, or if I have to charge my fucking Tesla, or if I need to buy my mom a birthday gift, I literally outsourced all of that thinking to another person so that I can just focus on the thing that I like to do. Because that's kind of my motto here is like, I don't really want to do anything that I don't want to do. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like fucking cleaning the house or taking out the trash or cooking fucking chicken or like that. That doesn't light me up. That doesn't get me excited. So anything that doesn't get me excited, I literally outsource to somebody else. Huge like leverage point. And you know, like a couple $100 investing in yourself goes a long way.
Amen. You really said that. People should be a little bit more comfortable. I feel like we're in an information age, and there's just so much to like know, and people need to experience. I feel like people are needing to have more experiences. You said something that you weren't good at. You said you were good at, but it also could be a bad thing. Obviously, your work ethic is, you know, instilled in you probably from a young age from your parents and also from being in the army. What's one way that your out of control work ethic maybe gets you into a little bit of imbalance or trouble?
Yeah, big time. And this is actually why I have a performance therapist. His name is Gabe Rocha. I meet with him every single Monday night, and we literally talk about my performance throughout the week, meaning how well I executed all the things that I need to execute that week. And a lot of it started with bodybuilding. And so a lot of our conversations is, hey, did you have a distraction-free 90-minute training session? That was very challenging for me to figure out how to do. To be able to put the systems in place, put airplane mode on, make sure I don't have any fucking thing going on in my mind so that I can be focused on the weights, on the muscle, on the contraction, on the stretch, so I can be the best bodybuilder possible. And there is a lot of noise needs to get blocked out in order to do that. So meeting with a performance therapist has helped me a ton be able to mitigate what you're asking right now. Is like, and what it actually is, it is, hold on one second. It is, what did my therapist call it? Anxiety cloaked productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, anxiety.
I see a lot of that. I see a lot of that.
Anxiety cloaked productivity, meaning that the second I am not building either my school community or my Instagram, or like if I'm not adding, right, if I'm not investing into these things that I have growing, then I'm doing something wrong, or someone's getting ahead of me, or like whatever. And so it also doesn't help that I have a pretty extreme level of intolerance of other people, meaning if you don't move at my speed, I look you dead in the eyes and I go, what the fuck are you waiting for? Right? And that works well in the military because I can just say, move out, motherfucker, now, double time, right? But that doesn't work in civilian society, and that's what, yeah, that's what,
I can connect on this on such a deep.
yeah, that's
I
what
think
that's what
it's a
contributed
New
me to
York
getting kicked out of graduate school. So yeah, so I've ruined a lot of relationships that way. In fact, I've been fired from 4 videographers. I'll say that again. I have been fired from 4 videographers, meaning they have said, Daniel, we no longer want to work with you, and it's usually because I'm a fucking asshole, you know, and I don't do a great job of trying to mask that, and I have this really bad habit of asking questions that eventually kind of make the person feel like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
I'll be like, is there something is this something you need my help with, or is this something you can handle on your own?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. No,
And
that's a meltdown. That's a meltdown question.
yeah,
Hope this email finds you well.
yeah, yeah. So I've had some what they would call interpersonal tact issues that have nuked some relationships, and yeah, it's but
It's
you know what
it's hard though because those interpersonal tact kind of moments that we both have, like it's you have a large business that is paying out a lot of people. Like if something goes wrong, like you're responsible. For me, in my place, for those moments of tact, and we're not like letting the world know what we're doing is okay, but for me, sometimes the tact has to go out the door, and you have to look at the patient in their eyes and be like, hey, like, look, you have like the beginning stages of diabetes. If you're not going to do what we're doing here, then you're going to have to go to a doctor and get medication. And it's the same thing. It's like, hey, like if you're not keeping up, I'm not going to be able to pay you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that is one of the hardest things to balance as a business owner is being like somebody who understands but also is keeping that face when it comes to keeping the business surviving and growing.
What's interesting is I struggle with that, but you know what I'm really good at is
What?
on the other side of that spectrum. I am really good at developing and keeping relationships with brands, with other business owners, people who are like me. Like if you own a business like Preston Herb Company, if you own a business dude, you send me some shit, I'll put you all over my social media for free. Why? Because I know you're working just as fucking hard as I am at whatever your thing is, and it's kind of nice when somebody does something nice for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
go buy
They
these
say-
fucking glass tipped vapes from Preston Herb Company. You know how much money I get from this? Fucking none. But these things are fucking awesome, and I really like Reed, the owner of the company. And what's gonna happen is Reed's gonna see this, and he's gonna see all these fucking glass tipped vapes are getting sold, and he's gonna go, bro, thank you so much. If you ever need anything, let me know. And I'll go, yep, no problem. And I put that favor right in my back pocket with the 500 other ones that I have. And then when I run for fucking Congress,
Hey, Reed. Shout out to Reed.
all right. How long have we been on here? We're closing in on 50 minutes, which is pretty damn good.
Fine.
What can we, Hunter? You always have something good to contribute. You're a business owner, dude. Give us the thing you're really good at. Give us the thing you're really bad at. You can close us out.
Man, to put it on one thing that I'm really good at, I would say one thing that I'm really good at is creating whether I met someone today at an event or I met this person for 5 minutes at so and so 2 months ago. I'm really good at making not just service level, but beyond service level relationships and trying to maximize the most value out of that. whether it's
I,
in
I agree. I spoke to you on the phone the other week for like 2 hours. You're like the king of that. Yeah.
it's almost a downfall sometimes because
It's a
Yeah.
dance.
it can create situations of where like people want to talk to me or I want to talk to someone else, but like truthfully, it's like, yo, I need to be doing something else, or I should I should be editing this video, or I should be making a piece of content for myself. Kind of fulfilling like some of the deeper aspirations that I have. Um, so like it's a give and a go with everything. Like just because you're really good at something doesn't mean it's inherently like you can drink too much water, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The guy died on Howard Stern.
Yeah, yeah,
Hyponatremia.
yeah. And I guess a negative aspect of that is just I can be really bad with. What fuck? One of you guys said it earlier. Something about uh, your anxiety activity, but it's like
Anxiety cloaks productivity.
there
Yeah.
you go.
That's a good
and,
word.
and especially when people are, and I don't want to make this sound negative, but when people are trying to like extract value from you, and on the other hand, like it's literally a goal of mine to like give back to the world as much value as I can. Um, but it can definitely be distracting and like there's moments for sure where it's like, damn, I would be probably so much better. Like I would be so much better off doing something that made me money rather than talking to this guy, literally giving free fucking advice or wisdom about what I'm like best at. But it's a give and a go.
What have
You
you?
never you never know who you are talking to though, and giving that information. I My most wealthy client was the most unassuming client I have ever had. I thought the person was homeless. I was almost certain of it. And, my big thing that people hate when I say is I say like, I'm not treating pocketbooks or wallets. I treat patients. And, I've just always stuck to that. And this was one of my patients as a first year doctor. And I'll never forget the guy had won a multi-million dollar court case for an accident he had as a construction super. So he had an elevator like slam his shoulder. So this guy had millions of dollars worth of money from settlements. And I didn't know. I actually thought he was just like not going to pay. He actually smelled like he soiled himself. But I took care of him, and I still gave him like the exam and the health history, and like, hey, like this is what you need. And he left, and I asked the person working for me at the time, like, what happened? And she goes, he paid for the entire year of care before he left. So you like sometimes you might think you're talking too much, but you could be talking to the right the right person.
Yeah. Also, rich people usually don't have large social media followings.
Very true.
That is so true.
They don't do social media at all.
They don't fucking care.
And another thing too is like, just because someone is a small creator today, has no following, isn't monetizing social media today, doesn't mean that in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, that person won't remember. And people remember how you treat them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
True. True.
Yeah, you're right. All right, boys. Yeah. Well, this is a good talk, man. I want to do
Great
it again.
session.
I want to do it again next week. I want to invite non-business owners. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. I got to travel one of the days, but we'll figure something out. But thank you guys for coming. We will get this clipped up. I'll get this over to you, Ryan. And yeah, if you're interested in joining Ryan's community, let me pull it up real quick.
Link. It's free.
Hold on. It is called Dr. Bland's, right?
Dr. B's Integrative Circle, yeah.
Dr. B.
Where we go over all of the information pertaining to health on a holistic and a clinical medical triage level. So people know the best choices of both worlds.
It's having trouble. It's
Having trouble? It doesn't want to share the goodness.
It's all right. I'll put it in the meeting notes anyway. They wouldn't be able to click anything here, anyhow. So it doesn't even matter. I'll put it in the meeting notes. I'll have my community in there. I have Dr. Bland's community in there. Hunter's going to have a community at some point if he doesn't already. But yeah, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.
Peace.